So someone asked me if we could take a look at this Taylor Swift song, and piano and keyboard tunes can be a lot of fun to play on the guitar, so I said sure. So in this key, this works really well to capo at the 6th fret. We're in kind of F sharp or G flat here. So this chord progression in the intro is just C and A minor. So you could get away with just the piano's doing a really strong quarter note pulse in pretty much throughout this whole song. So you could even just do a for both the intro and the verse. That would work pretty well. If you want to get a little fancier, so start with this C chord, and after you strum on beat 1, just hit that C note, that 5th string note there. Then jump up to the 3rd string. Now go down to the 4th string here, pick this note, then we're going to lift off our middle finger here and then bring it back. So open and then back to that 2nd fret. So here's that little phrase. Now for A minor, we're going to strum that also on beat 1. Hit that open 5th string, open A there. Now you can just let go of the chord here. We're going to hit the open 4th string. Now 3rd fret 5th string to open, back to 3rd. So here's that A minor phrase. Here's all that together. If you want to get a little fancier yet, you can do this hybrid picked or finger style. This gets a little closer, I think, to what the piano does. And so this is what you heard at the beginning of the video. So for this, it's not strictly just a C chord. I'm going to do a C over G. You don't need the full C shape. I'm going to use my ring, pinky, and middle fingers. You could use your first 3 fingers too, if you'd rather. So I'm on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, then also on the 5th, and then I've got the 2nd fret on the 4th string here. And I'm going to start hitting the bottom 2 strings on beat 1. Now I'm going to hit just that 6th string. After you hit that 6th string, you're going to go up to the 5th and then open 3rd strings. So then we're going to hit that 6th string again. There's that quarter note pulse. We're going to do that with these bass notes here. Now I'm going to play that 4th string note, and here it gets a little trickier. We're going to lift off on the 4th string for that open note, and we're also going to play this 6th string note at the same time. Then we're coming back up, bringing that finger back on the 4th string. So here's that C phrase all together. For A minor, actually you don't have to start by fretting anything. We're going to hit the bottom 2 strings open. This is like an A minor over an E. We're going to hit that 6th string again. Now after that, we're going to go 5th then 4th strings this time. So we're going then back to the 6th again. Now we bring in a finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Then we're going to play the open 5th and open 6th strings together, going back up to the 3rd fret on the 5th string. So here's the A minor phrase all together. I'll put both of those together. Here's how that sounds. So all of that can serve as both the intro and the verse. There is a little quirk in the verse though. It goes through that whole phrase, but then it's like C, A minor, and then C. But when it goes to the C again, before going to the A minor again, in the verse, it doesn't come back up to that note. So it's going to be more like. So there is the first section of this tune. All right, for the next section, which is, I guess, basically the chorus here, we've got 4 chords. We have an F coming in here. It's the only bar chord you got to deal with in this tune. You can get away with just that top 4 string F if you like. That works just fine. So we're going F to G. So that's one measure. Again, keeping that quarter note pulse going. Then A minor, back to G. So there's the first part of this phrase, the first 2 bars. Next 2 bars do exactly the same thing. Then it goes F to G, A minor to C. And the piano kind of just lets that C ring there. Then the last phrase, F to G, to A minor, and it stays on the A minor through that next whole bar. Now the first time through the chorus it just lets that ring, but on the other choruses you probably want to keep that quarter note thing going. One other little thing in here in this section, the piano's doing kind of a bass note on the upbeats of 2 and 4. And so guitar wise, to kind of fill that in a little bit, I'm just kind of doing an anda on those beats. So I do something like this. You get the idea there. All right, so the last section in this tune, kind of the bridge, but also serves as the outro. Our progression here is going to go C to A minor, G to F. Once again, you can use that shorter F if you prefer. So this is going to be a measure of each chord, and you can just do the quarter note strumming on these. But if you want to make this a little fancier and a little closer to what the piano does, there's a high note in here we can get on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So when you make your C, if you throw your pinky in up there, we're going to keep that note through all of these chords in this section. Now for the next one, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can go just A minor and keep that pinky up there. A minor 7, with that note that your pinky's playing, this really is an A minor 7 anyway, so you could leave that 3rd string open. So coming from the C, you could just lift off that ring finger, boom, you got an A minor 7. Then we're going to go to G, so I'm going to keep my pinky up there, and there's any number of ways you could play this G, as long as you're not hitting any weird notes and muting where you need to be. But there. Now the F. This gets a little bit quirky. We can do the just 4-string F with our pinky on that 1st fret. And if you have trouble with the bar in F, this might actually be easier. Now if you want to do a fuller F, like a bar chord F, there's a few ways you can do this. All right, so we want to keep that pinky up here. I'm going to bar the 1st fret with the 1st finger, all 6 strings. I've got my ring finger here on the 3rd fret, 5th string, middle finger on the 3rd string. I'm effectively muting the 4th string here. You could also put that ring finger on the 4th string and mute the 5th. Or, I'm not very good at this, some people can kind of but fret in between the strings to effectively get a bar, but without muting other strings. There, I kind of did that, so maybe that'll work for you. Okay, now if you want to get closer yet to what the piano does here, we're going to use kind of the same chord voicings here as we just went over. So I'm going to start with that C with my pinky on the top string. And then you can play either the top 2 or 3 strings along with these bass notes. And so here's what I'm going to do. So I'm starting by hitting on the C chord. I've got the fifth string I'm playing along with the top 3, or you could do top 2. So on beat 1, I'm hitting all 4 of those strings. That kind of mimics, I think, the rhythm the piano's getting in there. Now I'm going to do the same kind of thing here, but I'm going to lift off that ring finger, go for this A minor 7. Then to my G, and we want to keep that note on the 1st fret of the 2nd string here. So I'm just going to fret this with my G chord. I've got my index, pinky, and then my ring finger over here. Now the F, if you're doing just the top 2 strings, you could just bar this. I'm leaving that 3rd string open here also, and so I'm going to fret that F like this. So I've got my index down here on that 1st fret 6th string. Still got my 1st fret 2nd string going on, and my pinky staying up there. So